Today I bring you Ben Shapiro, the man who's gave us classics like Women Don't Get Wet.
Me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. I mean, a bucket and a mop frankly sounds like a serious condition that requires the care of a doctor.
Don't live where you grew up.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing.
And many others.
All of the water levels around the world rise by let's say 5 feet, say 10 feet, and it puts all the low-lying areas on the coast underwater. You think that people aren't going to just sell their homes and move?
Sell their houses to who, Ben? Fucking Aquaman!
Ben, what happened? You used to be our guy. You used to be at the forefront of thought for all young Republicans in this country. You were in the spotlight. You had it all. The fame, the glory, everyone liked you, everybody agreed with you. You know, you used to own the libs. You would use rhetoric and logic, and we all praised you for it. But what a downfall we have seen from you lately. The downfall has been crazy, and I am part of it. You know, a lot of your fans used to be fans are not your fans anymore because you've shown us who your loyalty is to. It's not to Americans, it's to Israel. It's no secret, you know, the yarmulke keeps getting bigger and bigger. You know, you're telling people they don't deserve to live where they grew up.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up. But the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities.
It's just so two-faced. I mean, what if I said that, or what if anybody else said that to Israelis? That they shouldn't live there. If it, you know, there's too much war, too much conflict, you know, if it's not a good place to be, maybe you should just leave. I don't think you would like that. But you are in favor of certain people leaving. I'm not one for pulling up a million past clips and trying to demonize someone for them. But Ben has no problem doing that, as we've seen. So I'm going to do that a little bit with you, see how you like it. You know, you got this article from, I think it's 2003. What was the title of it? Displacement is not a dirty word. So what were you advocating for there? You're advocating for ethnic cleansing. You want to remove the Palestinians from there. And you even say that bombing or destroying every building is not radical enough. It's too moderate. Because the solution will never come. That they will always be at odds with each other in opposition. You complain about Israel not being big enough. If we let the Palestinians have this land, Israel will only be 9 miles wide in some areas. You know, you guys already took the lion's share of their land. I don't think that that's a fair thing to complain about when these people used to have a country and now they don't. And they didn't make that decision. The Palestinians, surely they didn't sign up for this. It's not their fault. And they've been living there for a long time. You want to ethnically displace them. You want an ethno-state for Israel. But when it comes to America, it's open borders. When it comes to America, everybody deserves to be here except you, young white American. If you can't afford to live in the town you grew up in, you got to go live somewhere else. America is all about the adventure of a lifetime. You know, no, it's not. America's our home. This isn't, you know, it's an adventure in the sense that every life is, but it's not, oh, you know, we're going to raise the rent 3x in 20 years, and now where you grew up and where all your family lives, you got to go live somewhere. You got to go live in a poorer area, a poorer, more diverse area where you're more likely to get stabbed. That's ludicrous. It's a spit in the face to all of the people that live in this country, that have lived in this country for generations. But for Israel, you want total fascism, total control, ethno-state. It's always the rules for thee, but not for me. You want your paradise where it's all people like you that you can fall back on whenever you want. When this country gets too, destroyed by diversity or whatever you want to call it. You want to have your little safe haven that you can always resort to. We're not going to deal with that. We're not going to listen to you anymore. And in fact, we're not listening to you anymore. The Daily Wire, what a joke. What a joke it's become. So many people have left because of your intolerance. So many people have left with them. When the Candace Owens, when I think Brett Cooper left, when they left, they took a lot of the audience with them, and your viewership is in the toilet. People like Nick Fuentes that you despise, their viewership is up. Maybe you ought to take some notes from them. Maybe as a businessman, you should take some notes from them. If you want to save the little bit of the fan base that you have left or reclaim anything that you've lost, but I think it's too late for you. I think it's far too late. We as Americans are done listening to you. We're done listening to the organized Jewish oligarch from, this is another nation. These aren't Americans. They have dual citizenship. They don't have loyalty here. They always have their backup plan. And they celebrate all the things that are destroying this country here, and they don't tolerate them in their own country. In Israel, interracial marriage isn't even allowed. I mean, forget about immigrants. If they're already there, you're not even allowed to mix. It's so funny, all these policies that these neocons, a lot of them Jewish, push for our country, but in their country, it's a totally different story because they don't see us as the same. They have their in-group, and they protect their in-group, and the rest of the world and this country can go screw themselves for all they care. Better for them, right? And I almost respect the in-group preference. As Americans, if we had that more, maybe a lot of these problems wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be at this scale, at least. And what really brings me hope and inspires me is my generation, the young people rising up and starting to have that in-group preference for their nation. Those are just some quick thoughts. There's so much more to cover. Ben has given us so many gems. I might add a couple more here at the end.
Saying that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea.
Anytime you put a modifier in front of a term that is inherently good, you turn it into a perversion of itself. Judeo-Christian religion.
He said that Rosa Parks was like a plant, like she was planted there.
In what way? Like of the Jews, or like
no, like when like
to
the whole,
create chaos.
Yeah, like the whole situation on the bus.
Racial
was like,
divide.
Yeah, that was
okay. So I mean, I assume that he's garbling the actually fairly cool story of Rosa Parks, right? Which is that the NAACP had in fact recruited her for like in advance, and they said she'll be an ideal plaintiff, and they'd actually said, go sit on the bus in this particular place, and then we'll have a lawsuit against the bus line. So that, I mean, that's true. I don't know what he actually said. It is true that was not, it wasn't like she spontaneously sat down on the bus and then they sued but that doesn't take away from her story. In fact, I think it makes it a cooler story. I think it's cool that they actually were like, okay, we're going to plan this out. We're going to get a good basis for a lawsuit. Rosa Parks is an attractive face for the plaintiff and do it like.
Think you're better than me, Paul? You think just because you're hanging there all day, you're higher than me, you're better than me? Yeah, well, I got news. You're not. I'm a bodyguard. I can think. Yeah, you are not better than me at all. Yeah, I'll teach you.
Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.
There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from God, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we